Let's talk Cardinals already. Good Lord. All right. Good God. My bad.
My B,
man.
What do they want to talk about? The Cardinals are winning. It's great. We're all happy. It took a while. They've already kind of shifted to selling. Can they force the issue? Probably not. But, hey, the other day, John Mozeliak, this was just Monday, he did say, if they win 8 straight, does that cause you to pause and relook at things? Those are his words, not mine.
Yeah.
They've won 5 straight.
They're going to win 8 straight. And then nothing's going to happen at the deadline. And then they're going to lose 10 in a row.
Oh, my.
I'm just saying.
No, that would actually be exactly what you deserve if you do that.
I mean, that was a good game last night. First sweep since May. 5-game winning streak. Gorman with a 3-run homer. You want to play that? You going to find the Gorman home run?
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm unprepared.
Come on, Cole.
I got Mario Lopez. I got Jim. I got all these tabs up. I don't have any Cardinals-related tabs.
I'm getting yelled at. We'll listen to Gorman look good. Reds again, 6-game losing streak. Got the Cubbies this weekend. It's interesting. And that's kind of what we want in the radio game.
Well, yeah.
But, I don't know what kind of decisions they're going to make. Everything changes, man. It's fluid. They're going to keep winning. Just like you called it, Charlie. They're going to keep winning.
I also, in saying this, I think there's now so much pressure, and it's from the fans. I'm not saying John Mozeliak has put the pressure on himself, but he should feel pressure. He does. I think there's so much pressure to do some big things at this deadline. There still will be a lot of other teams that are also in the mix to get the very few amount of starting pitchers that are out there. You also have to outbid those teams.
I know.
And you have some crazy GMs and presidents of baseball ops that don't run their business the way the Cardinals do.
You're right.
And I know everybody bring up A.J. Preller with the Padres. Some of these teams don't care about mortgaging their future. They really don't.
They want to win.
The Cardinals, look, even though the Cardinals need pitching, at the end of the day, if they feel like giving up a Donovan and a Nootbaar or a Gorman and a whoever the hell you want to throw in that bucket, they're not going to do it just to do it. I just hope we're not really disappointed.
Yeah.
There's still I still think that no matter what, you almost have to trade Tyler O'Neill. You just have to. You need to get something. Now, if that's a quality reliever with 2.5 years of control, I don't know. If that's just a depth starter with a year and a half of control, you also have to remove the glut. You can't have Ali every night having 47,000 outfielder DHs.
Yeah. Can't have that.
Well, their intentions at this point clearly are to trade Tyler O'Neill because he had a very brief stint in Memphis. He gets called up, and then I'm getting confused on the radio this week. I'm trying to figure out what Tyler O'Neill, they already said that he's the left fielder. He's not in the lineup. What's going on? I didn't even realize that 3 days before he was even set to be activated, which is today, back on Monday, they already said Tyler O'Neill's playing left field. Lars Nootbaar is playing center field. Jordan Walker's playing right field. Okay, so clearly Tyler O'Neill, for as brief of a stint as he had in Memphis, and he wasn't even good in the 1 month of baseball he did play this year, this is an audition for other teams trying to raise his trade value.
100%. I think to me, it's also just Tyler O'Neill, to me, is who he is. He can be really good, but he's always hurt. To me, for another team, you just need to know he can play. Like, I'm not saying he's going to...
You really think you're going to get something really that valuable for him?
Well, this is my point. So look at this. They flipped a year and a half of Harrison Bader, who was a Gold Glove center fielder, for a really good, starting pitcher for a year and a half.
Yep.
Tyler O'Neill, you're not going to get that. For a year and a half of Tyler O'Neill, again, is it a depth starter for a year and a half? Is it a solid reliever with a little bit of control? So that's where, even though I feel like they have to move on from him, the Cardinals still will look at it like, well, dude, we think he could do this next year. Like, we think he could actually have his good year next year. All he has to do is be healthy. What I'm saying, though, is the Cardinals they're not going to give players away. When John Mozeliak said that on Monday, he's not just blowing smoke. They will not give Tyler O'Neill away. They have to get something decent in return.
Well, do you think Dylan Carlson's like, okay, I read that article, but in the bigger picture, I'll be slotted in there once they get rid of him. And that's why he's going out there and he's smashing right now.
Well, I don't know if
trade both of them.
I don't know if the communication with him was great because he was fighting back tears in the post game a couple games ago.
Right.
And so basically, remember what I said? I said that I said that they said that O'Neal's in left, Lars is in center, and we have Jordan Walker in right. The implied right there is that Dylan Carlson's benched. So he's going to be on the bench the next couple of weeks, and clearly the communication with him wasn't great because if he understood what their philosophy was, which is probably to workshop some sort of audition for Tyler O'Neill, if Dylan Carlson understood that, he probably wouldn't be so upset in the postgame. So I don't know what their messaging is to him.
Yeah, but there's only so much you could say to Dylan. Like, you got to...
If
you
told
can't just say, hey, here's what's going on. No, it's like, hey, you got to kind of figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? If I'm Dylan Carlson, I'm like, well, I know they want to get rid of him, so I know that's why he said that in the paper. So I'm just laid it out. I'm going to kick ass until he does come back, which he pretty much has. Then I'm just going to wait this thing out, and hopefully I fill that gap when he's gone. Like, you don't think he's figuring that out? You think he's probably they're playing Tyler O'Neill. They're going to keep him there. No, they're trying to trade him. He knows that.
Well, then why is he fighting back tears?
Because
he's a human being, Cole.
Because he's
just
still
having
sitting games
a
out.
bad day.
It's never cool whenever your GM is staunch on you sitting out with a guy that hasn't done anything all year. And he's probably like, damn it, but bigger picture.
Okay.
And he's probably playing to the crowd.
Okay, if one of your GMs said, hey, we're sending you down to Springfield for 2 weeks, but here's the plan. We're bringing you back up in 2 weeks. We just need to figure out what these guys, are you freaking out over those 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's happened to me plenty of times.
fighting
Sometimes
tears.
they wouldn't say when they're going to bring me back. And I'd be like, oh, God. But if they did, you still, 2 weeks is a long time in the minors. And usually that 2 weeks is like 3 or 4 weeks. So you always have that in the back of your head, too. Like when Lou says, I'm going to get you back as soon as possible. I know, but I'm still going to go down there and have to grind it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 2 weeks in the minors. How about 2 weeks in the press box? Like, hey, you're gonna
That's better.
Okay, you're gonna be a healthy scratch.
Way better.
You're gonna be a healthy.
Getting paid.
Getting paid, baby.
Okay, well, same with Dylan Carlson. You're gonna be a healthy scratch for the next 2 weeks while we kind of figure out what's going on in front of you. But after the deadline,
nothing's ever set in stone. The only thing you know right then is you're sitting out for 2 weeks. That's why he's bummed out. But he knows they're going to try to figure something out to get rid of Tyler O'Neill. But still, in the meantime, you're like, damn it, I don't want to sit out. Figure this thing out quick.
Right.
By the way, all due respect, Dylan Carlson, OPS plus 96.
Yeah.
That's essentially league average, a little bit below. Dylan Carlson, the main problem, which is, by the way, a huge problem, is that he doesn't hit right-handed pitchers. Cam, Cole, most pitchers in baseball are right-handed. You can't be a guy that just crushes lefties. Lefties, you might face a lefty, 1.5 times out of a 5-game rotation? You can't be a guy in the major leagues that can't hit right-handed pitching and be an everyday player.
I think that he could improve that if, and it's partially on him, partially on the organization, if they just made him a full-time right-handed hitter, like what Shane Victorino did at the end of his career when he dropped the left side. Now, I'm not saying that his numbers as a lefty would then all of a sudden be the same as his numbers as a righty. He's not going to go up that high because his numbers when he's batting when he's batting right-handed against left-handed pitching, his numbers are incredible. They're like it's over 300 batting average, almost a 900 OPS. So his numbers against left-handed pitchers are incredible. That's not going to be the case if you bat him right-handed on right-handed pitching, but it can't be as bad as it is because his numbers are like 220 and below 700. So his numbers are terrible. We got to scrap this whole, and I know we've been talking about this for a year, so I'm not trying to act like I just invented this theory, but Dylan Carlson batting from the left-handed side of the plate has got to go at this point. And I think it would be really good to figure out his role in the future of your organization if you gave him 1 year next year where you said, for better or worse, you're batting right-handed all the time. And that's how we're going to figure out what you are to us.
I would love to see that, by the way. I'm down for that. I will say this, though. Look, I'm not trying to move on from Dylan Carlson, but also
yeah, you are.
No, the man has had a pretty good amount of opportunity.
I know
it's been strewn over multiple seasons, couple injuries, COVID, blah blah blah, but he has almost 1,100 plate appearances versus righties. Now he's got 363 versus lefties. I mean, that 1,072 plate appearances against righties, that's essentially 2 full major league seasons of plate appearances. I'm not saying he can never do it, but it's not like he hasn't got a shot.
Exactly. No, you're right.
And I've never been someone who's been a huge fan of his. Last season, I felt like I was way behind everybody. Everybody thought Dylan Carlson was awesome, and Dylan Carlson...
untouchable.
Dylan Carlson might get us Juan Soto.
Yes.
I'm like, really? His batting average is like 260. And Juan Soto is one of the best players in baseball. That didn't add up to me. And now I feel like I'm on the other side. I'm above everybody else where I'm like, well, why is everyone just giving up on him after 1 year? Like, I don't think he's awesome, but I think he's a really good fielder. I like him fielding, and that elevates his value to me. And I do think that you can have preferably only one guy in your lineup that may be in there for defense and kind of is, batting 8th or 9th, and you just accept that he's going to be kind of an automatic out. And against right-handed pitching, that would be his role. So I'm willing to kind of bite the bullet on that a little bit. Again, would love to see him bat right-handed against right-handed pitching, but I'm not just throwing him away. I'm not burying him, but he clearly at this point seems to be behind Jordan Walker and Lars Nootbaar as far as the future of the organization, because otherwise he would be in that what the Cardinals have declared their current outfield, and he's not. He's on the bench.
And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being a league average right fielder. He can have a 12-year career doing that. Problem is, if you go back about 3 years, we thought Dylan Carlson was going to be we talked about him the same way they talked about Colby Rasmus. We thought this dude was going to be a perennial all-star.
God, that Colby Rasmus. Every time you bring his name up, I'm thinking that stupid-ass song.
Drawing aliens on a paper.
Got to trade multiple outfielders for pitching to make room for Herrera's backup. Left fielder Contreras. Jess. What's that, Cole? You want to know if that's short for Jessica?
Yeah.
Is that short for Jessica? I'm just curious. Cole,
Is that an inside joke?
Just want to know.
Well, it's just Jess. Like, is that Jessie? Jessica.
Oh, you want to know if it's a woman or not?
Yeah. Basically.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Does your wife have a 217 area code?
She does not, although I don't know her phone number, and that really bothers her.
You don't know her phone?
I don't.
This could be this could be
No,
Jess.
she's definitely 314.
She's got a burner phone.
No, I can check.
Oh, girl, what's up?
I can check within, I know, if you gave me 7 guesses, I could guess her phone number. But this is the cell phone era.
Oh, let's guess it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know it because why do I need to?
She's texting into the
she's
show.
She's in my phone.
You said that she didn't like sports, but now she's texting about Contreras and
I bet you she'll listen to our first segment.
Oh, yeah.
She'll love that segment. She won't like this segment at all.
Kate, same thing. She loves it when we just bull crap.
What you brought up, though, I'm telling you, again, just be interesting. This Wilson Contreras thing, I've never said he's never going to catch again. I just wonder. That's why the trading of Paul Goldschmidt, which in theory shouldn't happen, with this roster, if you're going to have some guys that probably should play first, if you're not going to have Wilson Contreras catch all the time, and maybe you think he could do a little DH, a little first base, hell, maybe even once every couple games out there in outfield, I just think it's interesting. I'm very interested to see how many games Wilson Contreras catches in 2024.
Which is why I'm worried about Kiz, because if he's like a half catcher, half not catcher, and the organization...
I know.
If the organization thinks highly of Ivan Herrera, if basically you need a second half catcher, I'm concerned that they're going to choose him. And then I don't know where that leaves Kiz, because...
Don't leave us, kids.
I know, but the Cardinals love 3 catcher systems. I don't know why, but they love them, so maybe it'll be okay.
Well, they love them because of Wilson Contreras
not being
kind
good.
of putting them in this spot a little bit. Here's another, I think, interesting part of that. Herrera, I don't know what Herrera's going to be, and he's taken a step offensively this year. Good for him. He still has a lot of prospect value, and probably right now he's got the most maybe he's ever had because he's starting to hit. We love Kiz. Kiz doesn't have trade value. Kiz is a backup catcher in the big leagues. Herrera still has value if you were to deal him. I'm not saying they're going to, but this could go back to the conversation we have about O'Neill, Carlson, everybody else. All these guys had a lot of trade value 3 years ago. What's their trade value now? Not very much.
Not nearly as good.
Much.
Sometimes you also have to strike while the iron is hot. I don't know if Herrera will...
Charlie just said trade Paul Goldschmidt. That's
Trade
what I
him.
heard.
The Paul Goldschmidt deal makes more sense to me the more I think about it because of the roster and his age and having a million guys that can play first and DH and whatnot. I don't really want to trade Paul Goldschmidt, but with this roster, I think you can make the case.
He's your best bet at getting a
They're not
really
gonna
good
trade
pitcher.
anybody.
He's also old. This is another thing.
They're not trading
When is it ever smart in sports to trade the younger, cheaper guy instead of the older, expensive guy? Again, I love Paul Goldschmidt, but if you're going to trade a Donovan or a Gorman or a Nootbaar over Goldie. Goldie's great, but he's 35.
Dude, he's getting old, man.
And I think he's going to age
Contract's
well.
about to expire.
And he's top value right now.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
Oh, I've been thinking that too. Nate's been saying that for months.
And
it's not a
Clement
crazy.
Slayton's been saying
It's
it.
not a crazy thought at all, especially because of the Cardinals roster.
Did you guys ever walk through the Cardinals' schedule the next few weeks? It makes things that much more interesting. John Boy in Indiana. I mean, if you look, we don't have to walk through the schedule because that's extremely boring.
Well, it's
ratio.
easy.
John Boy in Indiana is the most optimistic Cardinals
listen.
fan we
Oh,
got
he
on
is.
our text line.
Yeah, we like him.
It's 8 versus Cubs, 3 versus D-backs. 8 games versus the Cubs. And by the way, the Cubs are also in a spot. They're probably going to sell. But if the Cubs could sniff a little bit, it could change their trajectory. But most likely, they're trading Stroman, Cody Bellinger.
And about the Paul Goldschmidt thing, he is your best bet to get a really good pitcher. I don't think Tyler
He
O'Neill.
is.
We can put together all these packages you want to. Oh, Tyler O'Neill.
He doesn't have that much value, dude.
Maybe Brendan Donovan. Maybe Lars Nootbaar. Whatever. All these guys that we can name. How many of those guys are going to get you a top of the rotation guy?
Well, I will say that.
There's three
It's gonna
guys
be,
that can.
It's going to be a bunch of depth, which you
Three
already
guys.
have.
Hold on. Because the difference is Paul Goldschmidt's making a lot of money, and he's only under control for a year and a half. Donovan and Nootbaar have tremendous value because they're young and cheap, and you get about 5 years of control for those guys. That's a lot. That's what teams value is the young guys you have for a long
or
time.
a team going for it, and they need a big bopper like Goldie, and they'll give up something they have abundance of. Goldie, Arenado, and Walker, as far as non-pitchers, that's the value. I mean, they're head over heels value-wise as far as trades are concerned than anybody else.
Right. And Walker, there's no chance on earth that Walker
I
gets
know.
moved.
I'm just saying that.
But I'm telling you, Nootbaar and Donovan have a lot of value because they're so young.
All right.
They really do.
Who would you rather keep?
Donovan.
Oh,
Really?
of those two?
Yeah.
Well, I think for those two, it's more of Edmund versus Donovan
Yeah.
because they're
I'd
similar.
keep Donovan over Edmund, although I like them both.
Well,
I wouldn't trade Nootbaar. Though.
I think
like him.
I think Donovan, you have 1 or 2 more years of club control, so I'd probably pick him for that reason, despite the fact that I think Tommy Edmonds is a
Donovan?
bit better.
No, this is his second year.
Come on, Cole.
Yeah, you have more club control with him, don't you?
You said 1 or 2 years of club control, right?
More
than
than
Goldie?
more than Edmund.
Yeah, I think Edmund's 2.5.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so
I got you.
again, I think Tommy Edmonds is a little bit better than Brendan Donovan, but you get Brendan Donovan for a couple more years than Tommy Edmonds. What I was trying to say, I apologize that wasn't clear.
It's okay.
But,
Just don't let it happen
it's all
again.
good, baby. Here-
Just
so
don't
here
let
you
it
go.
happen again.
It
Brendan
won't happen
Donovan.
again.
Brendan Donovan.
I'll be perfect on the radio
Be
from here on.
perfect like I am.
Yeah.
He is arbitration eligible 2025, free agent 2028. So if you get Brendan Donovan right now, another team gets him
4,
for
5, 6,
23,
4
4,
years.
5, 6, 7. You get 4.5 years.
Oh, is this following up from yesterday?
No, I didn't mean to like distract you guys. But you'll see it whenever. Maybe you won't.
Is that
Sorry,
is that
I didn't
the,
mean.
that looks like the neighborhood where the car flew into the house.
no.
Is that
This is
it?
good video, by the way.
It was something else. It was very. That's very good.
This
Who
is a
edited
great
that?
way to make a boring
Oh.
story interesting.
There it is. There's a house.
That
I
is
got
the
right.
house.
I was pointing at something else. It's all good.
The lack
No,
of,
no, it's all good.
the lack of something.
No, I'll next time it pops up, I'll show you.
Who's
no
your-
big deal.
Okay.
What was it about?
Nothing.
A news anchor?
No.
Oh.
No. No.
I'm starting to think that's
No,
what it was,
no,
and I
it
just
wasn't.
missed it.
I was showing the neighbor of the guy that the house, the car hit
That
the
had no
house.
teeth?
Yes.
Had no teeth. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
No, it's something else.
No, it's no big deal. No big deal.
Back to
Sorry.
Brendan Donovan.
Anyway.
No, I don't know.
Hey, at this point, I think Chuck is close to getting OPS Plus tattooed on his bicep. Sweet analytics, dork.
That's not even
Wombat.
analytics, by the way.
Wombat.
Anybody who has not accepted OPS Plus,
Yeah.
and folks, I love you all, and I'm old school as anybody. You can't cite batting average in 2023. That doesn't tell you anything.
Exactly.
I love batting average. Everybody should have a high batting average. But Cam, if I tell you a player has a 250 batting average and a 275 batting average, that doesn't tell you anything. The 250 batting average could be a much better player. What matters is getting on base and slugging.
Yep.
That's what matters. That's why OPS and OPS Plus, for people not to like OPS Plus, it's literally the easiest stat because it's based on 100. All you have to know is that 100 is league average. If you're better than 100, you're better than league average.
Are you
it's
gonna get
the
tattooed?
easiest. No, but people that push back on this stat, it's not advanced metrics. It's not even
Why
close.
is he chirping you?
It's not even close to hard hit rate, right, and barrels and whatnot. It is not an advanced metric. It's actually the easiest analytic. It's based on 100.
Tyler O'Neill has no value. Playing for a couple weeks isn't going to raise his value from 0 to something worthy of an effective starting pitcher. Jesus Christ.
It's not 0 at all.
Was it 2?
No, I'm telling you. You can get more than you think for Tyler O'Neill.
Okay.
A year and a half of Tyler O'Neill will get you a solid major league pitcher.
The thing is, nothing's going to
Why?
happen. Nothing's
I said
gonna happen.
solid.
I know, but why?
Because
I
there's a risk reward that you know the man cannot stay healthy, but when he can, now you can be mad at me, but he'll put up a 150 OPS plus, which he did in that one season, which by the way will probably happen once every 4 years when he's healthy. But another team, this gets back to our
He's done
Cody
it once,
Bellinger.
period.
But hold on. This gets back to our Cody Bellinger conversation. Everybody hates the injured guy on their team. Everybody says, we'll get the best out of that guy. No, we'll keep him healthy. We don't care if he runs 93%. We're not going to yell at him afterwards. We'll keep him healthy. We'll make sure his hamstrings don't snap, and he'll hit 30 bombs.
Who, Muscles?
Muscles. Good old muscles.
These are Tyler.
He got out of his car again, hurt his hamstring.
Yeah, these are Tyler O'Neill's OPS pluses for his career. 115, which is his first year.
That's good.
In 61 games. The next year he played 60 games. His OPS plus was 90. The next year he played a full season, which was the COVID year. OPS plus was 70. Then the 148 that you're mentioning. Last year was 99 in 96 games. And his OPS plus this year is 70 in 29 games.
So what's his career?
Career OPS plus 112.
That's good.
Pretty good.
By the way, that's
That is-
much better.
solely based on one season.
Well, it's based on his best full season. Look, we all know he needs to stay healthy. But that's the thing. He can do that if he's healthy. So he doesn't have 0 value. I'm telling you. We're all going to be surprised. They're going to get more than you think they can get
No, they won't.
for Tyler O'Neill.
No, they won't.
But Cam,
They're not going to trade anybody.
Cam, it might be a really decent reliever.
They're gonna be buyers.
With 2.5 years of control,
They're going to
which
do
is a
nothing.
valuable guy.
They're going to win 5 more games.
I hope they do.
And they're going to do nothing. And then they're going to lose. I'm calling it right now. Guys, start playing. The guys start playing well when they think they have a way out of town. Boys are playing like puppies trying to get adopted at PetSmart on a Saturday morning. Cray, what's up, baby?
No, everybody wants to stay here.
Yeah.
No, everybody wants to stay here.
Oh, yeah. Of course they do.
What kind of
Baseball heaven.
What kind of players do you think that you're going to get back as far as like age? For just, I realize it's a bit of an open-ended question because you're trading different guys. Like there's O'Neill, he can get some level of return. Flaherty can get some level of return, but you're going to be trading 2 teams that are going to be buyers at the deadline, meaning that they are competitive. They're not going to want to give away players who will be on their playoff roster. They don't want to give those players away. They want to give away young guys, prospects, guys who aren't going to be in the starting 9 of the postseason, guys who aren't going to be in their rotation in the postseason. So it's hard for me to wrap my brain around the idea that the Cardinals are going to be trading all of their guys, and then 2024 they're going to have all these veterans ready to go. They're going to be more and more young guys who other teams are comfortable giving away because this season in 2023 they're not postseason players.
I think that you make a great point. And if the Cardinals aren't really going for it in 2023, then the value of getting, let's say, somebody for a year and a half, like Jordan Montgomery, why did that make sense? Because in theory, you thought you were getting him for 2 playoff runs.
Yeah.
You didn't expect to be horrible this year. Okay, so if you're going to get the next Jordan Montgomery and you're going to get him for essentially 2 years, a half a year and a full year, well, you're not really competing this year. So what does it matter? Like that value, it doesn't really help the Cardinals if they're not competing in 2023.
Yeah.
So to me, I think the Cardinals are more likely. I know you're going to hate Lance Lynn, but if Lance Lynn is your 5th starter, and then you actually do spend for whoever the hell you want to talk about, Aaron Nola, that fills 2 spots, okay? That's not something the Cardinals can't do. You got to pay somebody $25 million a year.
You got to.
And then you can pay a Lance Lynn or whoever the hell the version of Lance Lynn is
12 to
for
15?
$13 million for 1 year. Okay? You can be mad at me, but they're going to give Michaelis a spot and they're going to give Matz a spot. I'm telling you, they're going to.
No, yeah.
So now you have one more
believe it.
spot. You don't want it to be the conglomeration of the Dakota Hudsons of the world. So that probably
Jake
has to
Woodford.
be, yes, the Woodfords, the McGreeveys. they probably have to get one pitcher at the deadline that can be there beyond this year. So again, that could be this year's version of Jordan Montgomery. That's not going to be easy to get.
What's up with your tweet?
That was a joke, and nobody got it.
Nobody got it.
Which was the point. Because it's a fantasy football. This is why the trade deadline's fun.
I like when Charlie. I could see Charlie like, I got something funny.
I have.
Well, no.
I'm going to tweet it
Because I know, because this is Twitter. This is like what you do with your podcast.
I kind of thought you were serious, and I was losing my mind.
That's why you have to make it. You have to make it just close enough to get people that don't know you.
Charlie's been
to start commenting.
He's like over 4 in the jokes in the past month.
You're
over 3 on the show.
Yeah.
No.
Here's what got me.
How so?
Here's what got me on that joke. When you put Burleson in there, I kind of thought that you were being serious as far as like him being a big time prospect for other teams. That's when I'm like, wait a minute, he might be dead
I'm
serious.
telling you, he has more value than you think. I'm dead serious.
Burley?
Yes,
But he's a
because
pitcher.
because he's got 6 years of control.
He's Ohtani.
He's going to go to the A's and play every day. He's hit 20 bombs.
Yeah, I hear that. Oh, that's funny. Get him in, by the way, 855-282-8255. Cardinals thought enough of Neal to give up on Marco Gonzalez, so why wouldn't we fetch a good pitcher for him in a trade? Rory.
This is not going to answer that question. I want to get back to this whole Lance Lynn thing. The thing that frustrates
You
me,
hate him.
No. The thing,
Jim loves him, and
I know.
it's a kind of a turnoff. It makes me not like Lance Lynn that much because of how much Jim likes him. Right?
I can't tell if you're being serious.
No, I'm dead serious. Like
Okay.
Jim talks about
No.
him like he's like a Cy Young.
I know.
And I'm just like,
Well, I kind
every day.
of
And the only reason why Jim likes him is because he's fun in interviews.
right, and I do think
No.
that it's
Selfish
personal
thing.
there.
No.
Like,
It's a selfish thing.
okay, I know you're going to say strikeout rate, whatever. I'll throw back the home run rate at you. He's also getting crushed when they do make contact.
Okay, how about Busch Stadium? Busch Stadium is a very, very fair ballpark. Anybody's numbers once you come to Busch, they're going to drop as a pitcher.
Here's my issue with Lance Lynn, is that Cardinals fans are frustrated with Adam Wainwright this year. They're frustrated with Tyler O'Neill, a bunch of guys who had great season in Cardinals past. And then everyone wants to talk about Lance Lynn when any other pitcher who never played for the Cardinals, if they had his exact numbers, they would never in a million years want a guy with a 6 ERA. At 36
that would be
years,
a joke.
They
Yeah, you're right.
would never, ever, ever be asking for Lance Lynn if he didn't play for the Cardinals 10 years ago.
Cole, the Cardinals literally did this at the deadline with Lester and Happ, and it worked. It did. We all made fun of those. We all made fun of those signings because they had 5 and 6 ERAs with the Twins and with the Nationals, and for half a season, both those guys were really, really good at the deadline. So to act like a 6, by the way, I'm not saying Lance Lynn.
I'm more so talking about the fans.
Okay, Lance Lynn, if the Cardinals bring him back, to me, he's their 5th starter. Or throw him in the Steven Matz bucket. But he's a guy, whoever. I mean, Steven Matz, people are super mad that I put him as the 4th starter. But here's why. Because this is what the Cardinals do. They are not going to not give him a chance when he has 2 years left.
No doubt.
And they're still owing him over $20 million. This is the argument, I think, instead of everybody focusing on Lance Lynn and his numbers and whatnot, here's the focus. Would you rather have Lance Lynn as your 5th starter or pick from the bucket? There's a bucket right there. The bucket has Jake Woodford.
Bucket?
No, I'm not going to call him crap. I'm a nice guy. Let me think of a good name for it. The bucket has Jake Woodford.
The 4th bucket.
Dakota Hudson. It has Zach Thompson. It has Matthew Libator. They're all in the bucket. It's a big bucket. They also have McGreevy, who's young down there. They're all in the bucket. Would you like that bucket, or do you want Lance Lynn? That's, to me, that's the equation. Lance Lynn on a 1-year deal for $13 million.
Also,
And he still strikes people out. And he hates it. He's up in Chicago. They suck.
They do suck.
Now, the Cardinals also aren't very good.
They do kind of also suck.
I know that over the past couple of years, you kind of struck gold with Jay Happ. You kind of struck gold with John Lester. If you went through the majority of Mo's tenure, I'm sure you could find plenty of pitchers with 5 and 6 ERAs that he acquired that weren't awesome.
This is a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. Again, my issues with the fans who want Lance Lynn, you would not
He's for
want
the fans.
You would not want Lance Lynn if he were any other guy who never played for the Cardinals and had his exact numbers right here,
I
right
agree
now.
with Cole.
What about Cody Bellinger?
Thank you.
We all wanted Cody Bellinger. We had this argument. Nate and I were on the same team here against Jim. Remember? To act like a guy is always going to be bad, and he's always going to be banged up, and a change of scenery. I mean, Cody Bellinger is the perfect example. He was an MVP. He got hurt for 2 years. His shoulder was all messed up. He went to the Cubs. It wasn't cheap, but it was a 1 year deal. What did we say? $17.5 million guaranteed for 1 year? That's not cheap. But the dude is freaking awesome right now. He's awesome. He'd be the Cardinals' best player.
Okay, but the Cubs
right there with Arenado.
Well, clearly his market was only a bunch of 1 year deals, or else he probably would have taken more than 1 year deal.
Why would he want to? But here's the point. This is the Jack Flaherty argument. Cody Bellinger, why the hell would he sign a 6-year deal coming off his worst 2 seasons ever if he can bet on himself? Cody Bellinger may have made himself a $100 million contract by having another great year after 2 bad years. Jack Flaherty, he's been fine this year. You think a team's going to give him $100 million? But they might if he does it again next year, which is what Carlos Rodon did. Carlos Rodon could not stay healthy, but he then put 2 good years together, right?
1 year contract
with San
boom.
Francisco, and he got what did he get from the Yankees? 175.
Oh,
and he's
sure.
And he's hurt again. But I'm saying, Carlos Rodon had great potential. He couldn't stay healthy. If I'm Jack Flaherty, I'm not signing a long-term deal after this season. I'm doing it one more time, and then I get the 150.
150, baby.
Well, what if you don't do it next year?
But still, it doesn't make sense for Jack Flaherty to sell low.
I think that's fair.
It doesn't make sense for Cody Bellinger to sell low last year. Cody Bellinger's going to get a tremendous deal now, I bet, based on this season.
As an engineer that deals with high-end math, statistics,
Jesus,
and theoretical physics/analytics for a career, the mathematicians that sold analytics to the MLB are laughing their way to the bank every day. There are so many issues with the WAR, and anything with a plus, it's cheesy math. Damn, I choose the wrong career path. The Mad Marine. What do you do, homie? What'd you say you do again?
A Marine?
The Mad Marine. Well, he's out of the service now, and he's working on. I don't know. Tell us what you do.
I think he lives in Florida.
You can't trade goalie because of how winnable this division is next year. A few tweaks and they're back in the playoffs easily in 2024. This team's biggest problem, aside from garbage starting pitching, is an over-reliance on young players. They don't need more of them right now. 314, put a name in, please.
That's not the problem. The problem is 100% pitching. Has nothing to do with the age of the players. I know that for some reason people think the Cardinals' offense isn't good. It was top 5 last year, and people didn't think it was good. It's like 7th in OPS in baseball, and people don't think it's good. The pitching is awful. It doesn't matter if the pitchers are old or young, if they're all awful.
People are chirping your math. Your math.
Well, they're wrong. All due respect.
Okay.
OPS plus is
They're chirping your.
OPS plus is
a
not
great stat.
It's not even like an advanced metric.
They keep chirping your math. I don't know.
What's the math?
It's not like wins, runs, created plus or whatever that is.
OPS plus is not an advanced
Mad
metric.
Marini's calling. He goes, laugh
should.
out loud. Anything with an A plus is a definition of analytics. Got to stop with the math and go back to school, Charlie.
No, you're
we
so
talk
wrong.
about this every show, he says.
Let me tell you something. If you want to get real nerd whack, my buddy who works in the Cubs organization, I've had conversations about real analytics of why it makes sense for them to still swing hard with 2 strikes, even if they're going to strike out 8 times out of 10, because they'll hit 1 double and 1 homer. And they do the math based on that versus your likelihood to get a single and weak contact. I'm telling you, if you saw the advanced metrics that these teams have, it's ridiculous. OPS plus is not an advanced metric,
All right.
not even close.
Call in, Mad Marine.
No,
I want to
they-
hear this. I want to see you guys go toe-to-toe.
Do you think OPS? I'm talking to Matt Marine here. Do you think OPS plus is more ridiculous than CWPA or RE24 or whatever the hell all this
Don't
is?
even know.
Then use OPS. My point is, batting average tells you nothing. If you say a guy hits 250, that doesn't tell you if he walks. It doesn't tell you if he slugs. That's way more important. A guy that hits 250, this is why Joey Gallo could have an amazing season and hit a $199 if you walk a ton and hit 40 bombs. There are guys who hit 199 who absolutely suck. There are guys who hit 230. A lot of people, I get it, but some people can't grasp that Lars Nootbaar had a really good season last year and hit 230
Who's the best?
because he walks and slugs.
Who's the best overall player in the league, and what are his numbers? The best player in the league right now.
This year,
Overall, this year, what are his numbers?
it's going to be somebody who slugs and walks for
I'm just
sure.
want to know.
Well, I know Aaron Judge is banged up.
How about Shohei? Most home runs and most triples. His OPS has got to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what's his OPS?
I'm just curious.
OPS is also that's not an advanced metric. OPS is a very easy stat that should be the stat that everybody sees on TV.
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani is leading the league in OPS plus with 187.
Okay, so he's 87% above league average.
For perspective, Paul Goldschmidt won the MVP last year. I think his OPS plus was about 176.
So Ohtani's the best hitter in the league?
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely the best power hitter this year.
His batting average is still 306.
That's very good. That's very good.
Here's a Mad Marine again with another hot take. Hence the name of the show. I like it. Walker.
Yep.
Jordan Walker.
Texas
Maddie's
Ranger?
boy. Maddie's boy. Jordan Walker.
What's that mean?
Walker. Well, he likes him.
Are we talking about Walker?
Walker is the definitely. He goes is the definitely of lucky in terms at his back. Okay, man, you screwed this up, Mad Marine. I'm trying to be serious here. Walker is definitely lucky in terms of at bats. He's going to be another bust. Let's cash out now.
Wow.
Dang D dog. Why do you say that? Are you crunching numbers again, Mad Marine? Because I need you on this show. Charlie's confusing everybody with his math equations.
That's not even a math equation. I chose the stat that's the easiest because it's based on 100.
I don't know. He's chirping.
This is like quarterback rating. You know how you say quarterback rating and nobody understands it?
Yeah.
But everybody uses it, and it makes no sense that the highest quarterback rating is 155.3 or whatever. And then ESPN came out with QBR, which actually makes a ton of sense because it's based on 100. It's much easier to understand. And everybody's like, no, because we like quarterback rating, which we literally don't even know how it's created.
What is it? Quarterback rating.
Well, it's a passer rating.
I think QBR goes
takes
to
in
100, and then passer rating goes like 138.3.
No, it's like 155 point something.
Don't confuse me. I'm a woman who likes both the nonsense talk and also sports talk you guys do.
Sharon?
I must be a mutant. You're dang right, girl.
Could be Sharon.
Is that
could be
Sharon?
Jazz, could
Yeah,
be Salute.
of course.
I did
Excuse
again.
me?
I said it again.
What'd you say?
I'm sorry, Sue.
Wow.
I keep
you could have got there, dude.
No, Sue in Glendale. I keep calling her Slew, which actually plays well in this city, but I keep joining those words. See? Accidentally. Tuna, you hear that?
Who's the best player in which league, Cam? The MLB. I just want to know who the best overall hitter is.
You're just talking about hitter
Well, both.
or player? Well, Ohtani pitches.
Yeah, no, so it's hard
Ohtani's a
to
freaking unicorn.
Get him out of there. Who's
How
next?
about? Well, if you're taking into account overall player. You got to throw. And we're not including Ohtani because
Get him out.
he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Probably Ronald Acuna Jr. is right there. I mean, Mike Trout's getting a little older, but when he was healthy, Mike Trout was right there. Again, because he can play defense.
Yeah.
He hits for power. He hits for average. He walks.
Okay.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Swipes
right
bags,
now
too.
of a typical baseball player. There's Bonnie. Ronald Acuna Jr. is probably the best overall player, and I'm not including Shohei because he's a freaking mutant.
He's a mutant. Is there anybody Charlie doesn't know? Mike from Oakville. Do you?
What are we talking?
Why are they on you?
Oh.
Now I got to stick up for my boy.
Because he knows somebody deep in the bowels of the Chicago Cubs analytical department.
What I'm saying is, if you saw the analytics, my buddy, I can't believe what he has to do on a daily basis for scouting.
Something
Cam,
god-awful.
it looks like advanced calculus.
Oh, I'm good at that.
It looks like something you don't even understand. When he has to scout, this is A-ball. It's crazy.
I would love to sit down for an hour and have him walk me through it. I would love to.
I would
Dude,
jump off a bridge.
I can't even understand it. I can't even
Oh,
understand
that's
it.
right up your alley, Cole.
I think I could.
You could work for the Cardinals.
I think I could hold my own. As far as
I think you can too. You have that gift, though. You went to school for it, right? Crunching numbers and stuff, the
Did.
nerd stuff.
yeah,
You're good at that, right?
Got a bachelor's of science
Yeah,
in
baby.
data analytics from Ohio State.
You could work for
Look
a
at
team.
that.
You're damn right you could. Always think that way. That's why you got
Wouldn't
to.
that be
Hey, that's
boring,
why.
though?
By the, well, yeah, but he likes it, dude. He's
Well, I would like it in a sports
not in a cubicle. Although you might be
context.
working in a
saying-
cubicle.
Yeah, look, man. I have a creative mind. I like to dress like crap to work. I like to
Yeah, you
I like
do.
to hang out. I like to be funny, and I feel like. And I like to follow all teams, okay? So I would not really enjoy working for a team and just having all of my focus be on one team and one organization.
You wouldn't want to work for the Cardinals in the front office, doing stuff, helping them out, going to some meetings, crunching numbers for them. You wouldn't want to do that? Are you kidding?
That would be cool.
It'd be really cool, and it's a head start to get anywhere.
I'm telling
You
you.
need to go down the games and show your face around a little bit too. And you need to go to some hockey games this year. And who am I kidding? I'm being a hypocrite.
Jump to my defense.
I'll go with you to hockey games too. Just
You'll
these
get a
people.
credential for hockey.
Damn right. They'll let you.
Thank you.
I'll put my foot down on that.
No, I'd love to go to a hockey game with you.
Yeah.
Shake some hands.
We
meet
don't
some
really
people.
watch the game.
He'll go once a year.
We don't really watch the game. I'll be
I
arguing
will.
with Losey in the alumni box the whole time. Like the whole time. Arguing with him. Good God, shut up with this baseball heaven crap. St. Louis acts like this is a field of dreams. That Ray Liotta and Kevin Costner are playing catch together in right field. It's so freaking humid out right now. I just sweated out the rest of the acid I took in my 20s. This is baseball hell right now. Pizza Wallet. Yeah, dude.
Well, no one said that.
All that acid you took in the 20s.
No, he was.
By the way, that's the joke.
You sarcastically said that, and then he didn't appreciate
on
it.
you today.
He didn't appreciate that word was even mentioned.
No, he was agreeing with me.
Yeah.
Cam, you need to understand also how to interpret sarcasm.
I got that one. But the
No
Mad
one.
Marine-
This is my point.
I misinterpreted it.
Baseball
It's
heaven.
confusing.
No, it's not. Baseball heaven. People aren't going to come to St. Louis. Oh, no. I want to come play for the Cardinals because they're 10 games under and they don't spend as much as the Mets.
Yes.
No. No, folks. No. Nobody is going to
beautiful
come here
outside.
for the humidity. I love the Cardinals. I love baseball heaven. I love the best fans in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how you get players? You give them the most money.
Yep.
And you have the best chance to consistently win, which the Cardinals have done for many years. Give them all the credit in the world. This year, not so much. So guess what? You have to overpay. By the way, there's a lot of people that would prefer to live in Miami or New York or Chicago or Los Angeles. You probably have to give more than anybody else to get them to come to St. Louis sometimes, which is fine. But don't act like people are coming here. Oh, I get that standing ovation.
Toasted ravioli.
I'm going to give up $30 million for that. No.
Emos.
No.
Ted Drews.
You might give up $30. You might give up $30 for that. You
It's
won't.
hell outside
You're not
right
giving up
now.
$5 million. You have to give them the most. If you want Aaron Nola, you have to give him probably $25 million more than somebody else in an extra year. That's how you get Aaron Nola.
That's it.
You think you're going to recruit Giancarlo Stanton with a bunch of junk food that he's probably not eating
Oh,
anyway?
he ain't eating that. He ain't eating barbecue.
Look at Giancarlo Stanton. You think he's filling his body with emos and toasted
he-
wraps?
he's
Hell
gonna-
no.
Yeah, he's going to go to Frontenac Mall and hang out. No, he's not. No, he's not.
No.
That was about
His wife ain't doing
Yeah.
it.
Does he have a wife? Because I think that wasn't about filling your body with food. That was about surrounding your body with other bodies
Well, we have a,
that
we have
are
a
in
zoo.
Miami.
There's a zoo here, okay? Lance Lynn's a lazy fat ass. Put a membership to shred and ban him from Jack Nolan's in his contract, and maybe we'll take a look. Lemingwinks.
Lance Lynn for 1 year and $13 million would be a nice signing.
Even if you can convince me that the Cardinals they're the 6 ERA wizards. Even if you could convince me of that, I would still say to you there are probably a lot of free agent pitchers that are due up, some that are probably cheaper than Lance Lynn who have a similar ERA, and Cardinals fans would not want him because that player did not play for the Cardinals previously.
I've said,
Homerism.
whatever version of Lance Lynn, it's somebody who's like Lance Lynn. He's about mid-30s, pretty good. Maybe you can buy him low right now and you get him for 1 year and 12 months. It doesn't have to be Lance Lynn. It's that pitcher, whoever the hell that is.
Okay.
There's a million
Okay.
guys who are 34 that are like that.
Now I agree with you because you're at least being consistent, where I feel like other people
I'm always consistent.
would just say, oh, I would want Lance Lynn. Why? Because you remember him from 10 years ago? Like, you're getting mad at Waino, you're getting mad at Tyler O'Neill, but now you want to turn back the clock for Lance Lynn? That's inconsistent, and Cardinals fans are doing that with
I like
him.
Cole's on fire.
Cole,
today.
look at Lance
Cole's
Lynn's
on
numbers.
fire today.
He's done this before. He was great with the Cardinals, and then he went, where the hell did he go?
Minnesota
The Twins
sucked.
had a bad year.
That was his
bounced back Texas.
only bad year.
Charlie.
But he's old now,
Charlie.
He's what, 35?
I think.
Adam Wainwright's 70 years old.
Charlie. Be nice. Charlie.
I love Waino.
And he's doing great.
He's 45. Charlie.
Yes, Cam.
I bet you can't even spell the first 4 letters of analytics correctly. Carlos Danger. Can you? Can you?
I know what he's doing there.
Don't look at your don't.
A
Yes.
and what does it spell? Wait, hold on. What does this spell?
He's got to think about it. He's got to
Oh
think
man,
about it.
this is really clever.
He's got to think about it.
That was a Cole ring. That was
Wow.
It's anal.
a great text. And
He got you.
assuming I didn't
Oh
know
no,
He got you.
He got me.
God,
Did not
Charlie.
see that coming.
He got you.
Did not see that one coming.
we're having fun today.
Hey, can I be honest with you? I didn't.
Aren't you always honest?
I didn't even know that's what it spelled. I thought he was just being a dick.
You see this?
I didn't even know.
This is why.
He read the
all due
text.
respect,
I didn't even know
can I
that.
tell you something?
He
Cole,
read the text.
Cole,
He read the
here's
text
thing.
and he didn't get that.
What'd I do?
Cole, I love Cam.
Yep.
When Cam reads a text, you can't even trust the message because he doesn't understand sarcasm from truth. Like when he reads something, it could be the exact opposite
He got
message.
you.
He reads it in a way where he doesn't even know if the person is being serious or not.
He got you.
And now he's saying the texter
He didn't
got
even
you.
get that joke.
I know.
He did not get
and
that joke.
He read the first 4
Think about
words of
that.
analytics
I
as he
love
was
this
reading
guy.
it.
He did not even get the
Oh
joke.
God, you're right. God, dang it. Oh,
Bring
you
us
want to go to break?
Bring us a trash bag of beer.
You want to go to? Oh yeah, that was for my parents.
I would do the same thing. I'm not going to throw away beer.
I was gone, gonzo.
By the way, you're telling me you can't lose a game and drink a beer? You drink beer when you celebrate. You drink beer when you mourn.
No one even thought to do it but me.
Was it in Canada?
Hell yeah.
All right, so it was legal anyway.
Even if it was in the U.S., I would have done it.
Probably.
I was in my own world. Gone. See ya. Going pro. Adios. I was nice, everybody, but I'm gone. Anyway, let's go to break. Let's regroup. Take a breath. Charlie's got to regroup.
Man, I'm mad.
Charlie's got to, I know.
Whew.
He's got to regroup. Jesus, Charlie. Are you and Kat fighting to be Lance Lynn's agent? We're trying to improve the rotation, not add another bum, the all-knowing expert. You guys do really like him a lot. And you do talk about him a lot, and it's just that's why I think Cole was a little confused because Kat just every time Lance Lynn, Lance Lynn, and Cole's just like, whoa, what's up with you? And then even
What's up with that ERA?
I'm like, what's up with that? And then he'll get pissed at you. He'll look at you into your soul, and you're like, I'm just letting you know, like his ERA is inflated, and
If it were
they hit bombs off him, and he's old.
If it were anybody else
all.
that had his exact numbers,
He's got something on you.
who didn't used to play for the Cardinals, he would not get mentioned on this show. And he hasn't, because the only name that we've heard with that resume is Lance Lynn. And I guarantee you, there are probably a lot of other pitchers of that ilk that are, I guess, fit that role, and their names are not getting mentioned because they didn't play for the Cardinals. And so it's Cardinals cutesy crap all over again. I hate to say that right after we just did a Cardinals
Cutesy
live
crap.
read. But
It kind of is.
Wait,
Cardinals cutesy
QT
crap.
the gas station or
Cutesy.
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 I like QT. I don't hate St. Louis. I love Lion's Choice. I like Quick Trip. All right.
I'll eat Lion's Choice. It's better than our.
They might be a sponsor. I don't know.
They're both the
I don't
same.
think
You,
they are.
you didn't say it.
Lion's Choice is dang good.
Folks,
Best chocolate milkshake
Folks.
I've ever had.
Cole,
from
I love
Lion's
you.
Choice.
Here's what you're not understanding. I love you. You're from Ohio,
Yeah.
and you know data.
Ohio's
See,
got problems.
see, he's gonna
No,
most
this
stressed
is
out
what
city.
the Cardinals do. The Cardinals are already going to give Steven Matz a rotation spot. You're not looking
I
at
get-
Lance Lynn versus, hey, would I rather have Lance Lynn or Justin Verlander?
Lynn.
The argument is, do you want Lance Lynn or Jake Woodford? That is going to be the decision. I'm telling you.
Jake?
It's going to be Lance Lynn or Dakota Hudson. That you're not looking at
No,
Lance
no,
Lynn
no.
versus Cy Young Award winner, because I promise
know.
you, Cole, I will bet my entire
Talking
life
down to you.
that they are going to give Dakota Hudson another chance next
Talking
year in
down
spring
to
training.
you.
Dude, because they won't have another choice because they don't have 5 good starters.
That's why you sign
I
Lance Lynn and
agree.
you force them to
But he's
not
saying,
have a choice.
Find another Lance
I'm
Lynn.
saying you don't have
It
to
can
sign.
be.
Charlie,
It can be
Charlie.
Bance Bin.
He's a great guy.
It can be anybody who's literally a 35-year-old.
Lynn Lance.
Yeah, and he played
It
for the
can be
Cardinals.
anyone. It doesn't have to be
Okay,
Lance
okay,
Lynn.
enough's
You're
enough.
obsessing with this.
Enough's enough.
I'm saying other people are obsessed with Lance Lynn.
Will you, in the break, look up somebody who's 35,
There you go.
who's similar to Lance Lynn, who will get a one-year
There
deal
it
for
is.
$12 million? I don't care who the person's name is.
Okay.
I care that they're better than Dakota Hudson.
There it is.
I'm saying other people do.
That's fine.
You're 100% right, Cole.
We agree.
STL is about a former player nostalgia. So true. Don't listen to Charlie. He didn't grow up here. He's a transplant. We got to go.